Children. So in the last class we started a new chapter and discussed a very good information about maps, different types of maps, and what are they, how they are representing the land, the earth. Okay, so today we are continuing the lesson. In this class we will discuss the three important components of maps. There are three types of components of these maps. They are distance, direction, and symbol. Okay, with the help of these components we can read the map very easily. That means understand the information given on a map very easily. They are very essential also. Then only we will then only we could use this map very effectively. Okay, so let us start one by one. So here you can see the political map of the world. That means actually the size and shape of the land masses and water bodies are not such on this map. Actually they are not really there. Okay. So the distance or the area of each and every land features or landmass or water body, whatever it may be, we have to reduce its size. That should be fit on a sheet of paper. Then only we can make a map. Okay, or we can say maps are drawn to reduce the scales, but this reduction is done very carefully so that the distance between the places is real. നമുക്കറിയാം, നമുക്കിപ്പം ഒരു മാപ്പിൽ ഇപ്പോൾ ഈ വേൾഡ് മാപ്പിൽ തന്നെ നമുക്ക് എടുത്ത് നോക്കിക്കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരുപാട് രാജ്യങ്ങളും കുറേ സ്ഥലങ്ങളും കുറേ വാട്ടർ ബോഡീസ്, ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഓഷ്യൻസ്, സീസ്, ഇതെല്ലാം കാണാൻ പറ്റും, ഐലൻഡ്സ്, ഇതെല്ലാം. പക്ഷേ ആക്ച്വലി എർത്ത് സർഫസിൽ ഇതിൻ്റെയൊക്കെ നീളം അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ദൂരം, സൈസ്, ഷേപ്പ് ഇതെല്ലാം ഒരുപോലെയാണോ? ആക്ച്വൽ സൈസും ഷേപ്പും എല്ലാം ഇതാണോ? നോ, ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് മച്ച് ബിഗർ ദാൻ ദിസ് മാപ്പ്, അല്ലേ? So we have to reduce, first we have to reduce the area, that means the distance, if we want to make a map. Okay, so through scale we are doing this representation. It is only possible, it can only be possible when a small distance on a paper represents a large distance on the ground. Therefore a scale is chosen for this purpose. So a very important word, scale. The geometry box nagathulla scale alla, that is a ruler. Okay, so here scale means it is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Okay, so almost all the maps have the scale shown on it. Here also you can see, I think it is not clear, not much clear, I think. So here you can see the scale. It is a ratio. It is given in a ratio here. Can you see that? Okay. So there are two values. Ratio. That means the one value will represent the distance on the map and the another one distance, actual distance on the ground. So we are reducing the actual distance to a smaller one. So that is scale. So it is the ratio between the actual distance on the ground and the distance shown on the map. Say for example, the distance between your school and your home is maybe 50 kilometers, not 50, 20 kilometers. Say for example, 20 kilometers. If you show this 20 kilometers on the map, how will you represent it? Yes, it is 20 kilometers away from your home, it is our school. So how will you represent that 20 kilometers on a piece of paper, in a A4 size paper? Yes, we have to reduce that distance. That means we are taking a scale. 1 centimeter represents 1 kilometer, or 1 centimeter represents 10 kilometer. Here the actual distance between your home and school is 20 kilometer. We are taking the scale as 1 centimeter for 10 kilometer. Okay, 1 centimeter represents 10 kilometers on the actual ground. So for representing 20 kilometers you need 2 centimeters, isn't it? So that is what is called scale. And there are different types of maps on the basis of scale. Let us see which are they. Yes, the two different types of maps based on scale are large scale and small scale. Large scale map and small scale map. Okay, so please be very careful. Don't misunderstand that. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അത് തിരിഞ്ഞു പോകാൻ സാധ്യതയുണ്ട്. അതുകൊണ്ട് തിരിഞ്ഞു പോകാതെ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചിരിക്കണം. First among them is large scale maps. Okay, so large scale map is having a very large amount of details. Information of a very large amount of information are given on large scale map, but it represents only a small area. Large scale, small area. And what about the small scale map? It represents a large scale and it can accommodate or include only a small amount of details. So you can see these two types of maps here, large scale map and small scale map. Okay, so large scale map means it is a representation of a very small area, maybe about area of 1 kilometer or 5 kilometers. Okay, but here you can see another map, small scale map. It represents the entire world on that map, isn't it? So these are the two types of maps based on scale, large scale and small scale. Large scale maps represent small area with a large amount of details, and small scale map represents a large area and it shows only a small amount of details. Okay, is it clear? Very good. Then one more important thing, how is scale shown on a map? Yes, by three ways. These three ways we can represent the scale on a map: as a written statement, as a ratio or fraction, or using a scale line. You can see these three representations here itself. Here, first one as a written statement. Here 4 centimeters represents 1 kilometer, that is the scale. Maybe written like that on the map. Okay, or 1:25,000, that is in the form of a ratio or a fraction. Okay, another one here you can see here maybe 1 centimeter, maybe this distance 1 centimeter represents 500 meters. Okay, so these are the three ways through which we can represent this scale on a map. Okay, is it clear? As a written statement, as a ratio or fraction, or using a scale. Next important component of a map is, yes, the directions. The important directions. And actually the direction may not be given on some maps, and sometimes the letter N, capital letter N, may be given on the top right side. Maybe for example, please take this as a map, and it is given that this N, capital letter N, may be written on the top right side corner. Okay, that means this is the northern part, the north direction. If we know the north, we can easily find the other directions. Opposite to north, it is south, and towards right side it is east, and towards left side it is west. Okay, so these are the important 4 directions. They are known as cardinal points. So which are the cardinal points? North, south, east and west. Okay, so these are the 4 important directions. And we can also find some other directions, intermediate directions between the cardinal points. For example, here you can see another direction between north and east. So it is northeast. Between south and east, it is southeast. Then between south and west, it is southwest. Then between north and west, northwest. Okay, so there are 4 cardinal directions or cardinal points, and other 4 intermediate directions are northeast, northwest, southeast and southwest. Okay, so it is also very important to find out the directions on the map. Is it clear? So we can see different directions here. North, south, east and west, the four cardinal points, and northwest between north and west, southwest between south and west, then southeast between south and east, and northeast between north and east. Okay, so if we are in a very in an unknown place, maybe for the first time we are going to that place, how will you find the directions? Yes, there is an instrument for finding the directions. In aeroplanes and in ships, they are using this instrument. What is that? Can you name that? Yes, that is with the help of a compass. Okay, so here you can see a magnetic compass. Can you see that? Yes, so magnetic compass is used to find out the direction of a place. Okay, it is the instrument used to find out main directions. Its magnetic needle always points towards north-south direction. Okay, you can see that the needle of the compass is pointing towards north-south direction. In this picture you can see. Okay, so this is magnetic compass. So we have discussed the two components of map today. Which are they? Yes. Which are they? Yes, distance. In that we discussed scale. We discussed different types of maps based on scale. Then another important component about the directions. Shall we go to the next component? Yes, we discussed that the actual distance, the real distance on the ground is not at all easy to represent on a piece of paper. So we reduced the size of that particular place. That means, yes, we used a scale. For representing different features on the map, we have adopted some common symbols and signs, some colors, etc. So it is to represent the different features such as buildings, roads, bridges, trees, railway lines, wells, all these. Then sometimes this institutions like post office, police station, then temples, then church, mosque, all these things we can represent on a map. So with the help of these signs and symbols, we are doing this with the help of symbols and signs. They are known as conventional symbols. So here you can see some symbols. So railway lines are shown with the help of black and white lines. Okay, this is broad gauge. Then here you can see meter gauge. Then you can see the railway station. It is written as RS. Then roads are given here. Two types of roads, metalled and unmetalled road. Then with the help of these symbols we can identify the places, the institutions or the features of a place very easily from a map. Okay, is it clear? So here is one activity given to you, page number 27. You have to find out the places on a map. There is given a very yes, that map represents a very small area, that is Sundarpur village and its surrounding areas. So you are given an activity there. Look at that picture. Then you have to find out some important things on that particular map. Okay, നിങ്ങളത് ചെയ്യണം. അതിൻ്റെ സൈഡിൽ തന്നെ പെൻസിൽ വെച്ച് അതിൻ്റെ ആൻസേഴ്സ് എഴുതി വയ്ക്കുക. ഓക്കെ, സ്കൂൾ തുറക്കുമ്പോൾ നമുക്ക് ചെക്ക് ചെയ്യാം. ഓക്കെ, യെസ്. Next, another important thing about this map, another important drawing is there, that is what is called sketch. Actually it is not drawn on a scale. നമുക്കത് ഈസി ആയിട്ട് ഒരു സ്ഥലത്തിൻ്റെയോ ഒരു ബിൽഡിങ്ങിൻ്റെയോ നമുക്ക് സ്കെയിലോ ഒന്നുമില്ലാതെ തന്നെ ജസ്റ്റ് ഒരു ഡ്രോയിങ് ആയിട്ട്, ഇപ്പോൾ സ്കൂളിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഔട്ട്ലൈൻ വരയ്ക്കണം, സ്കൂളിൻ്റെ ബിൽഡിങ്സും ക്ലാസ്സസ് എവിടെയൊക്കെയാണെന്നോ കൊണ്ട് അതിന് നമുക്കൊരു മെഷർമെൻ്റ് ഒന്നും വേണ്ട അല്ലേ. സോ ദാറ്റ് ടൈപ്പ് ഓഫ് ഡ്രോയിങ് ഈസ് കോൾഡ് സ്കെച്ച്. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഡ്രോയിങ് മെയിൻലി ബേസ്ഡ് ഓൺ memory and spot observation and not to scale. So sometimes a rough drawing is required of an area to tell where a particular place is located with respect to other places. Okay, so whenever you are traveling or you are going to your friend's house but you don't know the way, yes, and your friend may make a rough drawing to show the way to his house. So such a rough drawing is known as sketch. It may not be having any scale. Okay, so route map ഒക്കെ നമുക്ക് അങ്ങനെ വരയ്ക്കാൻ പറ്റും. So next, another important thing about this in this map chapter is about plan, and it is very familiar to you, I think. ദാ ഇവിടെ നിങ്ങൾക്കൊരു സാധനം കാണാൻ പറ്റും. ഇതിനാണ് നമ്മൾ പ്ലാൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ഓക്കെ, പ്ലാൻ മിക്കവാറും നമ്മൾ വീടൊക്കെ വയ്ക്കാൻ നേരത്ത് പ്ലാൻ അനുസരിച്ചിട്ടാണ് വയ്ക്കുന്നത്, ഇല്ലേ? ഒരു എഞ്ചിനീയറെയോ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ഒരു ആർക്കിടെക്റ്റിനെയോ പോയി കണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഇത്ര ഏരിയ വേണം, ഇത്ര ബെഡ്റൂം വേണം, ഇത്രയാണ് നമ്മുടെ കയ്യിലുള്ള പൈസ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബഡ്ജറ്റ് എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുമ്പോൾ അവരൊരു പ്ലാൻ തരും, ഇല്ലേ? സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഡ്രോയിങ് ഓഫ് എ സ്മോൾ ഏരിയ ഓൺ എ ലാർജ് സ്കെയിൽ. So you can see that plan here. Okay, so it is also using this scale. You can see it is written here, the scale of that particular plan. That means a very small area is represented here. So it is a the plan for a building. ഒരു വീടിന് വേണ്ടിയിട്ട് വരച്ചൊരു പ്ലാനാണ്. ഇതിൽ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് കണ്ടാൽ തന്നെ അറിയാം എവിടെയാണ് ടോയ്ലറ്റ് അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ബെഡ്റൂം എവിടെയാണ്, പിന്നെ കിച്ചൺ എവിടെയാണ്, സിറ്റ് ഔട്ട് എവിടെയാണ്, എത്ര നീളമുണ്ട് അതിന് എന്നെല്ലാം ഇവിടെ എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്. വാതിൽ, ജനൽ എല്ലാം എഴുതിയിട്ടുണ്ട്, ഇല്ലേ? യെസ്, ദിസ് ഈസ് വാട്ട് ഈസ് കോൾഡ് എ പ്ലാൻ. സോ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് എ ഡ്രോയിങ് ഓഫ് എ സ്മോൾ ഏരിയ ഓൺ എ ലാർജ് സ്കെയിൽ. സോ ലാർജ് സ്കെയിൽ മാപ്പ് റെപ്രസെൻറ്റ്സ് എ സ്മോൾ ഏരിയ വിത്ത് എ വെരി ലാർജ് എമൗണ്ട് ഓഫ് ഡീറ്റെയിൽസ്. Okay, so these things are the important things you have to study in this chapter. So let us have a recap of today's class. We have started today's class with the components of maps. Which are the three components of maps? Yes, distance, symbols, and yes, which are the three important components of maps? Distance, symbols, and directions. Okay, and we have discussed a lot about each of these, and we saw different types of maps based on scale. What is scale? Yes, it is the ratio between a unit of length on the map and the unit of distance on the ground. It is the ratio between the actual distance and the distance represented on the map. Okay, on the basis of scale there are two types of maps: large scale and small scale. Small scale map represents a large area, and large scale map represents a very small area. Okay, and we have discussed another two important things, yes, about sketch and plan. Okay, so I am winding here today's class, winding up here. So please go through the textbook. I will send you the notes of this chapter today itself to the WhatsApp group. Please you read that lesson very clearly and thoroughly. If you find any difficulty, you can contact me. Okay, thank you children.